name is Harry, and I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Today is July 22nd, 2025. It is 6:09 a.m. I've been up. I had to finish whatever I edited yesterday. So I just finished and now I'm starting a new video. Alright, so I have a lot to share with you. These are brand new. I literally put new next to them as a note for myself. And then these are old. I should have recorded yesterday, but I didn't have time. So I might have two videos. Okay, so let's get started. This is the first one. Let's go on Twitter. Let's see something here. So these are some new conversations that I saw the squad were talking about, and I put them first, and then once I finish the new ones, I'll go to the old tweets that I should have recorded yesterday. Prince Harry is a blessed man, almost a decade in, and I still wonder how he was able to pull off this beauty. Alright, so there's Meghan. That's nice. This looked like somewhere in Manhattan, like Park Avenue or something. I don't know where this was taken, if it's from shoot or a photo shoot. Okay, so that's her wedding. There's the tiara that she chose from the Queen's collection. Alright, let's see here. Look at the material. There's that. Okay, oh, that's me 2 hours ago. That's what's killing Egg slowly. He's wondering the same exact thing, how his little brother did it. Simple. Meghan and Harry were meant for each other. Harry says it was written in the stars. I can't believe he was so stupid to be played by his untalented twit. Neither are very bright, but he was okay. They're gonna be saying that nonsense, these people. Alright, they want to be part of the conversation, but they're gonna say their stupidity. They want Harry to be in a miserable, infested pedophilia family, and then there's Meghan, who was living a very productive, soft life, and Harry saw it and said he wants to be part of it. He literally said it in spare.
Traveled the world from top to bottom, literally. I'd hopscotched the continents. I'd met hundreds of thousands of people. I'd crossed paths with a ludicrously large cross-section of the planet's 7 billion residents. For 32 years, I'd watched a conveyor belt of faces pass by, and only a handful ever made me look twice. This woman stopped the conveyor belt. This woman smashed the conveyor belt to bits. I'd never seen anyone so beautiful. Why should beauty feel like a punch in the throat? Does it have something to do with our innate human longing for order? Isn't that what scientists say? And artists? That beauty is symmetry, and therefore represents a relief from the chaos? Certainly my life to that point had been chaotic. I can't deny hungering for order, can't deny seeking a bit of beauty. But this woman's beauty, and my response to it, wasn't based merely on symmetry. There was an energy about her, a wild joy and playfulness. There was something in the way she smiled, the way she interacted with Violet, the way she gazed into the camera. Confident, free. She believed life was one grand adventure. I could see that. What a privilege it would be, I thought, to join her on that journey. I got all of that from her face.
Alright, let's see. I'm not even gonna go in the comment. Let me just black. I have too much to share with you. Okay, maybe because he is probably the most decent person in the royal family. I also question how Queen Elizabeth II knew to call them Sussex so similar to success, premonition, or intervention. There's the heart here. I know that's right. Alright, too sexy, gorgeous outfit, love it. Let's go to the next tweet. I don't want to stay too long on each of these. Copy and paste. Okay. You can almost pinpoint the start of when Kate began to copy Meghan and her friend style to a T, especially Abigail Spencer. Archer wasn't just stalking Meghan and her circle, she was literally colonizing Meghan's looks and mannerism for Kate. Sussex squad called it early. Yeah, the squad knew. I mean, these people have no shame. It's their typical colonialism type of mindset. They are so busy, okay? The royal family and those people with the same mindset, they are so busy of destroying, okay? They don't even have time to create. And then once they see something that is nice, all they have to do is copy it, okay? Their narrative, their core fundamental ways of doing things is to destroy. Destroy. Just look at their history. And then they want to take credit for anything that is nice and, just look at the history of things. Alright, one day we're going to talk about how after being responsible for the attack that pushed Meghan to the brink of suicide, Kate Middleton proceeded to steal her entire persona. It's ridiculous. There's no shame. There's no shame in her game. I cannot believe this. I mean, the squad knew. You know what I like about Meghan's pants here? I don't know in terms of, we might know if I take the time to calculate, because it was when they went to the UN and it took them a while after they stay private, and I think they went to Central Park. They did that live thing. So if I take the time and calculate, I might know from the time Lilibet was born and that time the picture took place. So you could see this is like a stretch pants, after her pregnancy and things like that, from looking at it a little bit much closer now. But this, you could see her leg is still have that muscular tone. What else she's copying? It doesn't even look good on her. You know what? Like I said, I'm not a fashion person. Let me just show you guys. Okay, you could comment on the comment section. That was the Invictus. They have no shame. I remember the first time I saw that picture, that's when she came. I think that was the Netherlands Invictus. I don't know, I was talking my crazy things as white being, the white flag come in peace. She's not for any team. She just wants everybody to do well and things like that. That is, wow. They don't want to take the time to think of the place that they are going. I'm talking about the left behinders. How their dress could somewhat reflect on the place that they are going to, but instead they just look at Meghan and say, this is the one that I want to. This is what do you call this? It's sick. It is sick. This one I'm gonna give it a pass. Maybe they're reflecting on the jacket, because everything else underneath. Oh, the boots too. Oh, fuck. Okay, I was gonna give her a pass because the clothes underneath is, different colors. But when you look at the boots and the coat, this is what they were copying. There's no shame. There's no shame. The boots as well. I mean, if they're spending that much time on looking at Harry and Meghan things, on the external type of thing, but why can't they spend the time and looking at the work, the substance, how Meghan and Harry are helping foundation, people, and things like that. Why don't they focus on that? And that reminds me of that interview she did with AOL. I think it was somewhere in Canada. Okay, I don't know where that interview was taking place, where she met one of her fans that through social media, she brought the letter to her. She mentioned that the thing, when she has a platform, she wants to say something important. And, you could talk about the clothes, you could talk about the external kind of thing. But what she really want to talk about, it's UN work, how to help people.
Yeah, it's still my baby. I wanted a place where I could share these great experiences I'm able to have and make it inspirational for people, but also a reminder that it's all attainable, like I didn't grow up with this kind of lifestyle or being interviewed or having fancy things. Like, that is all very new. And so to be able to show, like, you want that, you could totally have that, and you are enough and you're worth it. And it's also been a great way for me to connect with people like Emily, who's right here. I only know her through Twitter, and I knew she was coming because I saw it on social media.
Stop it, really?
Yes, and she's going on a trip soon to Costa Rica to do some aid work because she said that my UN stuff inspired her. I wrote you a letter. I brought it.
Okay, that is amazing.
Well, I feel a really big responsibility. Like, if you have this kind of job and you have an opportunity to have a profile where people are listening to what you're saying, I really, truly think you need to be saying something that's valuable. So yes, you can talk about, like, where did Rachel get that pencil skirt? Fine, sure. We can have that conversation. But I'd also like to talk about
women's rights.
Women's rights and like my work with UN Women or with World Vision or humanitarian trips or just really bolstering self-esteem that has nothing to do with the external.
Why can't these? They have the platform, the leftovers, they have the platform.
And we hope to, over time, try and have as much impact for all the things that we care about as much as possible.
I am very excited about that, yeah.
And Meghan, given your acting and the profile you had, you'd already been involved in various causes, you've been an ambassador for UN Women. What about this new role? I mean, you're going to have a bigger platform, a bigger voice. What do you want to do with it?
I mean,
Sing.
I think what's been really exciting as we talk about the transition of this out of my career but into the role is that, as you said, the causes that have been very important to me, I can focus even more energy on, because very early out of the gate, I think you realize once you have access or a voice that people are willing to listen to, with that comes a lot of responsibility, which I take seriously. And at the same time, I think in these beginning few months and now being boots on the ground in the UK, I'm excited to just really get to know more about the different communities here, smaller organizations who are working on the same causes that I've always been passionate about under this umbrella. And also being able to go around to the Commonwealth. I think it's just the beginning of a...
There's a lot to do. There's a lot to do.
Why can't they focus on that? Because when I first started looking into Harry and Meghan, the thing that I understood was that they were getting taxpayers' money. They were being funded by the taxpayers to take care of charities. Wasn't that the thing? Unless if I'm missing something. Anyone from the UK, please correct me. That was my understanding of why they were getting tax money to help charities. But now there's Charles. I mean, there's no King but Charles. He's telling like it is. Once he became king, instead of, I don't know, doing the things that the Queen was doing, they removed some of the charities, and then they're getting more money. I don't know. I don't know how that works. I mean, they're trying to dumb down the US as well to copy that same mentality, because it works so well for the UK. So they was like, okay, let's bring it over here in the US. Dumb down the people, destroy the schooling, the education system, keep them in the dark, and it's a shame. And there's some people who are crying foul. Some of Trump supporters. Okay, you could pause and read these. Trump supporters are starting to get the hint, but it seems like it's the Epstein thing that really resonates to them. And I don't know if you realize, I haven't talked too much about the Epstein thing, Just go back to some of my old videos. Everything that I have said in the past, it's what's happening now. Okay, and I even said in some old videos, my 200, okay, you know who you are. When I first had 200 subscribers, I went crazy, okay, because YouTube was giving me issues. Okay, this group will understand, because one of the things that I said the US does not play with when it comes with children is that. And this is the brick wall where Trump is hitting right now. His base can't, I mean, they had a narrative about the Epstein where he's saying he's gonna put things out, release certain information and stuff like that. And they had a narrative for that. Okay, probably craft their talking point and sell it to the public with false information. But there's so many people who are gathering information. Just go back to some of my old videos. That's the first thing for some reason, you know, when I was looking into the royal family and all of that, that was the first thing that I stumbled upon. And I report on it, and I knew YouTube was giving me issues. But now everybody's talking about it. It's almost the things that I was saying, so there's no reason for me to talk about it. I think I have one video that a TikTok video that talks about it, but did I put it in here? Let me pause and see. Maybe I'll put it right after this. Alright, so there's all of this. Okay, let me read these. Okay, truly diabolical conduct by Workshire Kate. Kate Middleton is what the institution tell her she is. That's right. There's a brown girl in the ring. Tra-la-la. There's a brown girl out the ring. Tra-la-la. Okay, I guess that's the song. What is disturbing is the ease of Kate's colonization of Meghan. Kate's entitlement of anything Meghan is gripping. And it certainly proves the reality of the royal family and the British media symbiotic relationship. Kate Middleton is a disgusting woman. Maybe, okay, just maybe, they have a narrative for the future. Because when they do things now, it's usually for the future. They're probably gonna switch it around saying it's Meghan who was copying her. But, and I'm so glad the squad who are into fashion always pointed out those type of things that's happening in terms of her copying. Yeah, it's the mindset of the colonization. And there's this person said it. Let me pause for a second and look for that tweet that talks about Epstein, and then I'll continue with my list. I actually had it. It was further down after Jeremy Vine video. All right, so this is the video that I was talking about. Okay, pedo president, because that was trending last night. Pedo president. Why then Democrats and Biden, he's the fax MAGA child rapist protectors. Okay, so this one says here, about what? If Trump did something, lock him up. You are far too confused to post on here. Alright, exactly 2 minutes. Let's listen.
Hey everybody, this lady calls herself Southern Mommy, and she's saying the same thing that a lot of MAGA supporters are these days. So I'm going to let her talk, and I'll be back in 1 second.
Why didn't Biden bring out the list the 4 years he was in office? Tell me that. I want to fucking know.
Well, to answer that question, we're going to have to go back to the summer of 2019, which was about 8 months after the Miami Herald published this article about Trump cabinet member Alex Acosta and how he was the guy who let Epstein off in 2008 when he was facing a 53-page indictment with 50 underage victims who were willing to testify against him. And the Palm Beach police chief who interviewed these girls said this was not a he said, she said situation. This was 50-something she's and one he.
Okay, I didn't even know about this article, but when I was talking about Virginia Giuffre, the deal that they made with her, okay, I was aware of this. Okay, and they, the Epstein people, got a lawyer for her, okay, pretty much, you know, to represent her, but pretty much they were going by Epstein's own thing. All right, they really screw her in that Florida case. So I was aware of some of that. But let's continue. Go back to some of my old videos. They're still there.
And the she's all basically told the same story. But of course, Alex Acosta here ignored all of those victims and allowed Jeffrey Epstein to plead guilty to just one charge of soliciting prostitution, which basically let him out of jail free. But because Alex Acosta kept this deal secret from Epstein's victims, there was a lawsuit that alleged that Epstein's federal non-prosecution agreement was illegal, which allowed him to be arrested again. But of course, that wasn't before 2017 when Trump weirdly named Alex Acosta labor secretary, giving him a cabinet position for some reason. And of course, that leads us to July 7th of 2019 when Jeffrey Epstein was rearrested. And just one day later, Jeffrey Epstein's New York City home was raided, where they probably did find that list. But of course, when it became apparent how sleazy Alex Acosta's deal was, he was forced to step down from Trump's administration, but not before Trump could weirdly defend Alex Acosta for this sleazy plea deal. And of course, less than a month later, Jeffrey Epstein was found dead in a prison cell that was controlled by Trump's Department of Justice. So at this point,
there's a video, I think, by, it's an audio. I might have shared it already with you guys, with Virginia Giuffre, who said, nah, he pretty much walked free. The body, the face that they show is allegedly is former First Lady Madam Clinton brother, who looks almost like Jeffrey Epstein, and they just put him as a body double. All right, but pretty much Jeffrey Epstein just walked free and flew from an airport in New Jersey, and we don't know where he's at. That's what that video or audio said. Okay, allegedly. It's almost done.
If you believe Trump wasn't able to get rid of some list, but he was able to get rid of Jeffrey Epstein himself, you're being naive.
Okay, so that's that. I'm done with this. I had it further down in the on my list. Maybe it would have been on part 2, but I put it here since I mentioned it. Next tweet. All right, there's issues right now with Trump with the Epstein thing. I don't even bother following it because I already know the story. If you look at past videos, many times, especially on PYTE, I keep on saying the little black book of Maxwell, they need to release it. There's name of people. So they kept it in order to get where we are now. Within 6 months, Trump was able to destroy the United States from within. Okay, they have all those business people, politicians, actors, you name it. There's a whole bunch of people on that list. To pretty much when Trump is writing his executive order, or if there's gonna be anything to protect Trump. All right, so that's that. Let's leave that alone. Next tweet. This is new. Wow, even more detail emerging. The Middleton parents are in tow. They arrived via private jet with tight security. Damn, this is the 3rd time this year they've been outed. Charles, is that you? Oh my God. So this is an article here. I'm not gonna read it. Royal family enjoys secret vacation in Kefalonia amid Princess Kate's was it? CA. I don't know what's that. Oh, the healing power of nature on a luxury yacht off of Greek island can make this effing shit up. Laughing my ass off. Wasn't she supposed to release one of those stupid season videos that some site drags her for? I don't know. People who don't pay their creditors are insulting to all those small businesses. Okay, they're talking about the Middleton's Middleton's parents, the party business. they had gotten loan. Instead of paying their creditors, they pocketed the money. They didn't pay them. Okay, I'm curious if they will travel separately as of tomorrow when Prince William turned 12. Which one of them is, how old is the older boy? 13? Oh, let me go find out. Who are they making? Let me read anyway. When Prince William turned 12, he never shared a plane with Charles and Harry ever again. Direct heirs are not supposed to travel together, just in case. Okay, so she's making reference to the kids. They cannot have, the two top one on the same flight. Just in case if there's an accident, the country doesn't lose both of them. The reason direct heirs fly separately and recent exceptions to royal protocols, that was in October 19, 2023. It has always been standard practice for two direct heirs to the throne to travel separately. Although legally, this is not official royal protocol, it is standard royal practice as a fail-safe put in place in case of any unfortunate fatal accident or incidents that will eliminate the royal family lineage en route to their destination, leaving the royal family in an unstable position. According to Graham Law, okay, you could pause and read. Okay, so that's if there's an accident, both of them, the country don't lose both of them. But there's 3 of them. Whatever. Let's see here. The Vaca Wales 5 holidays via private jets this year alone, and we're still only up to July. Meanwhile, Vaca really preaches about the environment and global warming, while Kate can possibly attend Ascot because of the heat, but it's fine to fly to Greece in July. Not the bankrupt Middletons who can't pay their taxes, surely. Maybe the palace is paying for them to fly. Not that I'm making excuses for them, but then again, these people have no shame. Revisiting her yacht girl era. Chuck payback for the High Grove story. So what the squad are making reference here, when certain headlines popped up and it's making reference to either of Charles or William, that's because if the headlines is making, let's say, Charles look bad, that's probably William is giving the papers things to talk about. And if it's vice versa, if the headline is about William looking bad, there's a possibility it's Charles who's giving that. Alright, so next tweet. This is a video. Kate Middleton then just stacked her rings at Wimbledon. She stacked Meghan Markle's entire aesthetic, from the jewelry to the stylist creeping on Meghan's friends. The obsession is showing. So that was yesterday as well. Let's listen to that.
Copycat Kate is at it again. So let's talk about the real Wimbledon 2025 moment. And no, it wasn't the match. It was Weighty Katie's sudden obsession with stacked rings out of nowhere. She shows up with her sapphire engagement ring, her wedding band, plus 2 eternity rings all layered together. And no, we're not calling it iconic, not even groundbreaking. Because baby, Meghan's been doing that for years. This is the same Meghan they all love to hate. The one they said was too Hollywood for the royal family. The one they dragged for her minimalist jewelry and stacked bands since 2018. But the moment Kate copies it, it's royal elegance. Get the fuck out of here. And let's go deeper. Duchess Doolittle didn't just wake up one day with a new sense of style. Her longtime stylist, Natasha Archer, who's basically the Duchess of Dupe at this point, was caught following Meghan and all of Meghan's close friends on Instagram. That's not coincidence. That's research. That's a whole mood board. That's copy and paste. And before Meghan haters get into their feelings, yes, we're saying it. Kate's entire aesthetic is a Meghan remix. From the ring stacks to the sleek neutrals to the effortless silhouettes, it's all been done. Meghan walked so Kate could rebrand. But the haters won't admit it because it shatters the little fantasy they've built. That Meghan was the misfit, that she didn't belong, that she had no style, no class, no grace, and yet somehow Copycat Kate keeps taking notes. So here's your royal reality check. Meghan was never the problem. She was the blueprint. And what you're seeing in Weighty Katie is just a paler imitation.
Wow. Let's see here. Whatever is here, she's inspired, boring, and pretty much useless. There's a laugh here, get the F out here, got me. There's this. Copycat K has no style of her own. And again, like I said, the firm probably making her do it that way in the future. They could say the opposite. They will say it's Meghan that's copying her, instead what's happening now in reality. And this is why I like the squad, because the squad usually point out those things that in real time. And again, I read all Sussex trolls posts and a stuffy as British accent. Alright, it's the watch for me. 100% truth, Duchess of Dupe, perfect as always, JTB. Alright, let's go to the next one. Let's pause. Okay, so this one, it's someone, thank you for tagging me on this because I was not on X yesterday. There's Charles is out and about shaking people's hand, and somewhere in the video there are some black kids, and again he skipped them. Okay, Charles has perfected the art of casually skipping black people and queues waiting to greet him. In this video, notice how the two little black kids in front of him reach out to shake his hand and he skipped them as if they don't exist. At this point, I don't know when people gonna get the picture. You wanna let your kids humiliate themselves? Fine. Alright, 9 seconds. Let me go to it really quickly, just in case if I get. Alright, I believe this is the black kid, one of the two. Okay, he shake hands here, shake hands here. Okay, there's his eyes. He sees the kid. Okay, there's no way he cannot miss that. He sees the kid and his head is processing. Okay, I need to skip that one. Okay, all of a sudden he switches face, his head turned the other way. Skip him. Okay, there he's looking. Don't tell me you didn't see it. Okay, so get the picture. Get the picture. They're telling you who they are. Okay, people behind him. Okay, so there it is. Alright, let's play it again. 9 seconds. Is there audio? Yeah, the audio's off. Skipped it. There it is. Alright, I've seen so many clips of Charles Parker Bowles III skipping black people and cues Meghan never stood a chance in that family. He's despicable. Let's see here. Come on. He certainly is that despicable. As I said before, I wish there come a day when no black people show up to be ignored. Let the tap dancers support them. Me too. Ordinarily, they get no sympathy from me, but these are kids. Several times, and yet people like Idris Elba don't seem to notice. They are always being used for PR. Okay. What is it? There's something. Is it with Netflix they're gonna do? And I remember talking about it. I found out Idris Elba had got some sort of a help to is it from the Prince's Trust? I could be wrong. I think it's the Prince's Trust, but I'm not 100% sure about that. Something that Charles did, and he benefited from it for going to acting school or something like that, some grant that he got. So, and I was like, you know what, I'll give him a pass if he's working with Charles for that, because that, it helped him. But besides that, I don't know. Teenage Idris Elba was a recipient of oh, there it is, they're mentioning here, from Charles Prince's Trust. That's what I was aware. They've held that over him, and I get that he had no choice but to lend his star power when asked. Yeah, that's what I think so too. Okay, yet they never seem to learn. I have seen this happening over and over. Have to wonder why they keep offering themselves up to be snubbed like this. These are just kids, so I do feel sorry for them. They're learning the hard way. Okay, the poor little boy and girl, his racism shone very bright on this day. There's that. He's terrible. Alright, so that's that. They don't consider these people as human. Alright, this is another new topic as well. I added to the list this morning. Harry and Meghan literally said, quote, "Stop being racist," and the British press and royal family treated it like an act of war. Yeah, many times when you hear the royal rats talking, their talking point is like they are into fight all the time, fight mode, when it's just something that needs to be discussed in a way, but for them it's war, kind of a... Oh, there's no comment, so let's leave that. Next tweet. This is the last one that I have that I put this morning, that's new, and then I'll go to my old list that had that I've been setting up. I didn't record yesterday. Okay, I see people complaining that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex don't do anything for Sussex. So I like to know, what does the Duke of York, Edinburgh, or Gloucester do for the people in the region of their dukedoms? Are they supposed to go out and judge some livestock or something? So that's a GIF. There's that. Let's open it. It looks like the Queen like cows. You know it, LOL. So there's me here. That was 3 hours ago. I'm guessing they want the leftovers to lose their minds even more. The Sussexes know how to make shit work. The second Harry and Meghan start an initiative, they move mountain to obtain their objective. Then horse, sausage fingers, mumbo and egg will send their minions to undermine Harry and Meghan's work. Harry and Meghan might be helping. We don't know. Okay, I was running out of character. Alright, whatever's here. Bottom up. They always have these strange expectation rules for the Sussexes, which no other royal has to adhere to. They always think they found a golden opportunity to strip them of their titles, but they don't understand. They only highlight the double standard and how toxic they are. Oh, the irony. Chucky, Willie, Andy, Eddie, and the other dukes' title aren't titling. They aren't requesting nor required to promote their areas because of who they are. Yet the irrelevant duke is requested all because he is relevant. The man makes the title, love wins as ever. The palace name are really only an identity, not intended to mean that the individuals have a special affinity to the place. The name Mountbatten and Windsor was the invented royal surname for the Queen and Philip. The other titles of Sussex, Cambridge, Wales are the same. But I could be 1,000,000% wrong with this. I thought that they used to get some tax benefit from those regions, whoever is the duke of that particular region. Let me look that up. Alright, so one of the questions that I asked Google is, does the duke of a region get tax benefit from that region? It says duke and regional taxes, a complex and evolving relationship. The question of whether a duke benefits from tax exemption or privileges within their region is complex and has changed significantly over time, depending on the specific country and historical period. Okay, so I took a screenshot of it already. Alright, you could pause and read. I'll enlarge it, when I'm edited. Or you could go on Google and ask the same question. In conclusion, while historical feudal systems often involve a form of exchange where mobility receive income or exemption in return for military service, this direct link to tax benefit from the region itself is largely absent in modern times. So they don't do that anymore. Okay, in contexts like the British monarchy, income is derived from private estate, duchies. This is the nonsense they tell us, okay? But we know what's going on. And even then, taxes pay on that income. Alright, so that's that. Let's go back to X. Where was I? I think I was somewhere here. The place names are really only an identity, not intended to mean that the individual have a special affinity to the place. The name Mountbatten Windsor was the invented royal surname for the Queen and Philip. The other titles of Sussex, Cambridge, Wales are the same. Okay, the Wales aren't doing much either. There's the laugh here. Don't you know all that when it comes to Harry and Meghan, the Sussexes, the goalpost is moved without any reason, prior requirements, etc. Hence, the double, triple, quadruple standard is beyond any logical comprehension. Their distractors make it up as they go without mercy. That's for sure. Okay, I'm still asking what has been done for Kent, Gloucester, Cambridge, and York by those bearing that name except charge high rent and leash of the dead. Oops, I didn't mean to open that. Alright, let's go to the next tweet. Now, this is old tweet. Maybe I should stop and then I will start. Yeah, I'm gonna stop here and continue with what I was supposed to record yesterday. So the next video, I'm gonna start with this, okay? So all the other tweets that I just shared with you, I grabbed them this morning. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. Alright, so let's go to video number 2.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together, and if I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better.